Hello friends, today in the present video, I am going to discuss with you chapter number 2 of the bill. Chapter number 2 of the bill is a dealing with the farming agreement which will be executed under the provisions of the present bill. So, it is very important for us to know that what will be the topics which we are going to discuss. In this video, we will discuss the contents of the farming agreement. In this video, we will discuss the duration of the farming agreement. We will also discuss the role of the central government while framing the farming agreements under section number 3. In the present video, we will also discuss what will be the terms in relation to the quality, grade and standard of farming produce, how the price will be determined under the present bill in respect of farming produce, how the delivery shall be made to the sponsor by the farmer, and how the payment will be made in respect of the farming produce by the sponsor to the farmer under section number 6 of the bill. In this video, we will also discuss that what are those various exemptions which are available in respect of farming produce which will be sold or purchased under the provisions of the farming agreement from the application of certain laws. It will be discussed under section number 7. Section number 8 of the bill will tell us how the prohibition has been created against acquiring ownership rights or making permanent modification on farmers' land or premises. Section number 9 of the bill will tell us what will be the provisions in respect of linking the farming agreement with insurance or credit instruments. Section number 10 will tell us what are the other persons apart from farmer and sponsor who can become party to the farming agreement. Section number 11 of the bill will tell us whether the farming agreement which is executed under the provisions of the present bill can be altered or terminated. And at the end, we will discuss the provision in respect of establishment of registration authority for a registration of farming agreement under section number 12. So let us start the video. What will be the contents of the farming agreement? The first question arises, what will be the contents of the farming agreement which will be executed under the provisions of the present bill? The answer is given under section number 3 of the bill. According to section 3 of the bill, the farming agreement which will be executed under the provisions of the present bill should be in writing. And this farming agreement may contain the terms in relation to the time of supply, in relation to the quality, grade, standards, price, and such other matters in relation to such farming produce. And apart from these terms, the farming agreement which will be executed under the provisions of this bill shall also contain the terms in relation to the supply of farm services by the sponsor to the farmer. Section 3 also tell us what will be the duration of the farming agreement. Two types of duration has been given under section 3, minimum period and maximum period. When we are talking about the minimum period in respect of any farming agreement, then the minimum period of the farming agreement shall be for one crop session or one production cycle of the livestock, as the case may be. Whereas on the other hand, the maximum period of farming agreement shall be for a period of 5 years. But it is also very important to note here that in case the production cycle of any farming produce is beyond the period of 5 years, then what will happen? Then the maximum period for the agreement will be decided by the parties mutually by sitting together. Section 3 also gives the role of the central government in making the farming agreement for assisting both the parties to the agreement. The role of the central government in making the farming agreement has been provided under Section 3, subsection 4 of the bill. According to Section 3, subsection 4 of the bill, it has been provided that to facilitate the farmers to enter into the written farming agreements. I want to repeat that to facilitate the farmers to enter into the written farming agreements, the central government may, it is the discretionary power of the central government whether the central government wants to issue any guidelines or not. The central government issue necessary guidelines along with the model farming agreements in such manner as the central government deems fit. That means to say, if the central government sees that there will be difficulty for the farmer and sponsor to arrive at any farming agreement, then to assist them to enter into the written farming agreement, time to time the central government can issue necessary guidelines and also can given model farming agreements for the assistance of farmers and sponsors. Then what will be done in relation to the quality, grade and standard of the farming produce? Section number 4 of the bill also takes care in relation to the quality, grade and standards of farming produce. It has been laid down under Section 4 of the bill that parties entering into the farming agreement may lay down the conditions in relation to the quality, grade and standard of farming produce in the farming agreement itself. That means to say, it will be the free will of the parties to the agreement that what will be the quality, what will be the grade and what will be the standard of farming produce in farming agreement, and they can decide regarding the quality, grade and standard of farming produce in farming agreement itself. The farming agreement may also contain the terms in relation to the monitoring and certification of farming produce, and this monitoring and certification of the farming produce can either be during the process of cultivation or it can be at the time of rearing of farming produce or it can be at the time of delivery. What will be the mode of monitoring and certification? That will be incorporated in the farming agreement by the parties to the agreement. Whereas when we are talking about who will done this function of monitoring and certification, it has been provided in the bill that this function of monitoring and certification of farming produce will be performed by a third party to the contract. That means to say, party to this contract cannot perform the function of monitoring and certification. This work of monitoring and certification by a third party to the contract is given to ensure the impartiality and to ensure the fairness in the process of monitoring and certification. Section number 5 of the bill tell us how the price in respect of farming produce will be determined. First of all, according to Section 5 of the bill, it has been said that the price which is to be paid in relation to the farming produce may be determined in the agreement itself. The agreement can say how the price in respect of farming produce will be determined. It will tell the mode of determination of the price in respect of farming produce. And in case the price is subject to the variation, then agreement will provide first of all a granted price which is to be paid for such produce. So it will be the minimum price which will be paid to the farmers in respect of farming produce. And apart from this guaranteed price, if any additional amount over and above the guaranteed price including bonus or premium is to be paid, then a clear price reference for any additional amount over and above the guaranteed price including bonus or premium is to be given to ensure best value to the farmers. And how such price will be determined? And such price references may be linked either to the price which is prevailing in the specified APMC yard, or the price which is prevailing in the electronic trading and transaction platform, or the price which is prevailing in any other suitable benchmark prices. It will be the discretion of the parties with which this price will be referred, either with the specified APMC yard, or with electronic trading and transaction platform, or with any suitable benchmark prices. But it is also very important to note here that whatever will be the method of determining such price or guaranteed price or additional amount, it has to be annexed to the farming agreement. That means to say, what will be the guaranteed price, how the additional amount will be determined, it should have to be annexed to the farming agreement. Let us study what is the last para. But it is very important to note here that the method of determining such price or guaranteed price or additional amount shall be annexed to the farming agreement. Section number 6 of the bill tells us how the delivery of the farming produce will be made. According to section 6 of the bill, where under the farming agreement which is executed under the provisions of the present bill, the delivery of any farming produce is to be taken by the sponsor at the farm gate. If the delivery of the farming produce is to be taken by the sponsor at the farm gate of the farmer, then the sponsor shall take such delivery within the agreed time, and it will be the responsibility of the sponsor to do such an effort so that he can take such a delivery of farming produce within the agreed time. And if the delivery of any farming produce is to be effected by the farmers, then it shall be the duty of the sponsor to ensure that he has made all preparations for the timely acceptance of such a delivery. Okay, if the farming produce is to be delivered by the farmers, then it shall be the duty of the sponsor to ensure that all preparation for timely acceptance of such a delivery have been made by him. Thereafter, he cannot make excuses that he had not made the preparation for the acceptance of delivery. It has also been laid down under section 6 of the bill that sponsor may, before accepting the delivery of any farming produce, can inspect the quality or any other feature of such produce as were mentioned in the farming agreement. That means he can ensure that whether the farming produce which is going to be delivered to him is according to the quality or other feature which was agreed upon between the parties. But what will happen if at the time of delivery of the produce the sponsor will not inspect the produce? Then what will happen? It is very important to note here, if the sponsor will not inspect the produce at the time of delivery of the produce, then it shall be deemed that as if he had inspected the produce. As if he had inspected the produce, he cannot say that he had not inspected the produce at the time of delivery of the produce. If he will not inspect the produce at the time of delivery of the produce, then it shall be a deemed provision that it will be deemed that as if the sponsor had inspected the produce, and he shall have no right to retract from acceptance of such produce thereafter in future. Now the question arises, the sponsor has received the delivery, then how the payment will be made in respect of farming produce by the sponsor to the farmer? Where the farming agreements relate to the seed production, it is very important. where the farming agreement relates to the seed production, then it will be the responsibility, it will be the liability of the sponsor to make payment of not less than 2/3 of the agreed amount at the time of delivery. That means he has to pay minimum 2/3 of the agreed amount at the time of delivery, and the remaining amount he can make payment after due certification. But this time period can not exceed 30 days from the date of delivery. That means to say he has to make payment within 30 days of the date of payment, from the date of delivery. And if the farming agreements is related to any other production, then what will be happen? And in other cases, the sponsor shall make payment of the agreed amount at the time of acceptance. He has to make total payment at the time of acceptance, the delivery of farming produce. And he will also issue a receipt slip with the details of the sale proceeds. Now, the state government is entitled to prescribe the mode and manner in which the payment shall be made to the farmers by the sponsor, whether it will be cash payment or whether it will be electronic payment or whether any check or draft will be issued by the sponsor to the farmers. Now, if any farming agreement has been executed under the provisions of this bill, then whether the farming produce which is purchased or sold under the provisions of this bill be exempted from the provision of any law? The answer is given under section number 7, exemptions with respect to farming produce. It has been laid down under section 7 of the bill that where a farming agreement has been entered into in respect of any farming produce under the provisions of this bill, then such farming produce shall be exempted from the application of any state act. Which state act has been made for regulating of sale and purchase of such farming produce? It has also been provided under section 7 of the bill that the stock limits which are mentioned under the Essential Commodities Act 1955 or the stock limit which are mentioned in any control order issued under the Essential Commodities Act 1955 or under any other law for the time being in force shall not be applicable to the farming produce as are purchased under a farming agreement which will be entered into under the present bill. So here the stock limit will not be applicable in respect of those farming produce which are sold or purchased under the provisions of this bill under the farming agreement. So here there are some doubts in the mind of many persons that in this way black marketing can be spotted. Now this provision is very important for the farmers. In this provision, the right of the farmer is protected by creating the prohibition against the sponsor from acquiring ownership rights or making permanent modifications on farmers' land or premises. According to section 8 of the bill, no farming agreement shall be entered into for the purpose of any transfer, including sale, lease and mortgage of the land or premises of the farmer. That means to say, no farming agreement can authorize a sponsor for the sale, lease or mortgage of the land or premises of the farmer, or no farming agreement shall be entered into for the purpose of raising any permanent structure. Sponsor cannot raise any permanent structure or cannot make any modification on the land or premises of the farmer. But if the sponsor agrees to remove such structure or to restore the land to its original condition at his cost, not on the cost of the farmer but on his own cost, on the conclusion of the agreement or on the expiry of the agreement period as the case may be, then he can do some modifications on the land or premises of the farmer. But normally, the sponsor cannot raise any permanent structure or cannot make any modification on the land or premises of the farmer. What will happen if the sponsor fails to remove the structure as agreed by him? It has been stated in last para that if the sponsor fails to remove the structure as agreed by him, then the ownership of such structure shall automatically vest with the farmer after the conclusion of the agreement or expiry of the agreement, as the case may be. The farmer will be the owner of that structure. The sponsor will not be the owner of that structure which has not been removed by the sponsor after the conclusion of the agreement or after the expiry of the agreement period. Now, under the present bill, to ensure risk mitigation and for the flow of credit to the farmer or sponsor or both, linkage of the farming agreement with the insurance or credit facility is given under section number 9 of the bill. Under the bill, there is a provision in which a farming agreement may be linked with the insurance or credit instrument under any scheme of the central government or under any scheme of state government or under any scheme of any financial services provider to ensure risk mitigation in the farming agreement and for the proper flow of credit both to the farmer or sponsor or both. In the previous sections, we had discussed that what will be the parties to the farming agreement. Normally, we have seen that normally there will be two parties in the farming agreement. One is sponsor and second is farmer. But section number 10 of the bill says that apart from the sponsor and the farmer, an aggregator or farm service provider may also become a party to the farming agreement. And in such case, when the aggregator or farm service provider become party to the farming agreement, the role and the services which are to be provided by the aggregator or farm service provider shall be expressly mentioned in such farming agreement. It has to be in writing what will be the role and what will be the services which are to be provided by the aggregator or farm service provider. Here it is very important to note what is the meaning of aggregator. Here aggregator means any person, including a farm producer organization, which act as an intermediary between a farmer and a sponsor, and he provides aggregation related services to both the farmer and sponsor. And what is the meaning of farm service provider? Farm service provider means any person who provide farm services to the farmers. The next question arises whether for any reasonable cause the farming agreement which has been executed under the present bill can be altered or can be terminated. According to section number 11, at any time after entering into a farming agreement, the parties to such agreement may with mutual consent. So it is very important. This alteration or termination should be with the mutual consent of both the parties. The parties to such agreement may with mutual consent alter or terminate such agreement for any reasonable cause. I want to repeat section number 11. According to section number 11 of the bill, at any time after entering into a farming agreement, the parties to such agreement may with mutual consent alter or terminate such agreement for any reasonable cause. We have listened in the news that every farming agreement will be registered under the provisions of this bill. Then section number 12 gives the solution how that registration will be done. For the purpose of registration, the state government may notify a registration authority, which registration authority will provide services in relation to the registration of farming agreement, which are executed under the provisions of the present bill. And for this, state government shall also prescribe in relation to the constitution, composition, powers and function of the registration authority, and will also prescribe the procedure which will be followed for the registration of farming agreement. So I want to repeat section number 12. The state government may notify a registration authority who will provide services in relation to registration of farming agreement which are executed under the provisions of the present bill. The state government shall also prescribe in relation to the constitution, composition, power and function of the registration authority and procedure for registration of farming agreement. So this is something about chapter number 2 of the bill. I hope you like all my lecture, and if you want to get a third video on the present bill, then please subscribe my channel and share my video to the maximum extent. Thank you very much.